What's up, guys? Welcome back to another podcast. I'm here with Fernando Raymond. We're going to be going over all the popular SEO questions, blogging questions, stuff that you want to know. So make sure you watch till the end. Leave any comments down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already.
James is here, right?
Yeah.
And we got the SeekaHost tops, and let's get on with the podcast.
Primarily, what we're going to be talking about today is blogging, great ideas to get started, choosing your topic, niche, different platforms, getting your domains, and all the important stuff that you really want to get started with if you're going to be looking into blogging.
We talk about the blogging, everything online, and how you can actually build the online property industry. So that's what James and me want to talk. We have done podcasts in the past, and James, let's roll up with some questions.
So let's get started, really, because this one question we do get a lot is actually choosing your niche. And obviously, Fernando has a lot of experience in this. I think the best way to go about it is actually asking him and see some of how he would answer it, how I would answer it, and then, you know, you can get a good idea from that and use it for yourself. So let's get started first with choosing your niche. What would you say is the best way of actually getting started and finding the niche in the area that you're in?
I would say, like, people should think about, like, if they have an expertise, and because blogging is about writing or producing content via videos and the stuff. So if they pick from what they already know, that's going to help them out and cut them the time. But however, if it is not, that you learn it. You learn it because, and when you're entering a niche, you got to really see that the niche has a demand. Niche research is important. But if you bring with an expertise, you have a career that you've done, and you think that's going to help the people. That's something you can write about, talk in the videos. That's always going to be very beneficial. And don't overthink, So like if a person thinks like, I don't know what to start a blog about, register your domain name. That's what I did in the first my blog, fernandobiz.com. And I thought, like, okay, I like business. I studied business, and I have a background in at least learning business, even though I haven't really done.
So is that your first blog, Fernando Raymond?
fernandobiz.com.
Oh, nice.
I don't even continue that one because then I changed it to Fernando Raymond and I started blogging. But I would tell the people, maybe you have JDog. You don't know a thing. You like Minecraft. You started a blog with JDog. Now you write about Minecraft, WordPress, what you do, because it's about documenting and writing what you do and what you know about. That benefits to the others who are looking on Google and search engines and also other places. So that's how people should be starting a blog.
Absolutely, and it helps if you know what you're talking about, because if you know good things to be able to actually give to people, good knowledge, because otherwise you're going to be having to research everything before you even put it out there. It's much better coming from a bit of experience rather than...
People should not overcomplicate about the niche thing. People really, I don't know what to start about, like what should I write, get started. It's like I tell to people, like, build your own property, like you can rent it, but when the time is, you get that feeling. If you can do that, you try to do that, because a blog is like you get to understand the building the fundamental thing on the web. Web is based on websites and written content, which are blogs. Actual property, get it started. Easiest thing, start with the name. If you have expertise, bring down the expertise, write about it. Your expertise is going to help to other people, and you will evolve. Start writing with the business, and then about SEO. Then I learned about SEO. I started my blog first. Then during that time when I was reading business, I was reading about the rising businesses, the businesses that are going to have the biggest demand. And that's where I came across SEO. And then I'm like, let me learn SEO, which I utilized for the blog. And that became the agency, that became the starting procedure. It always lead to something. Now you started playing Minecraft.
Of course,
right?
Start playing Minecraft.
And now you produce videos like WordPress expert, like that's the thing.
It's getting yourself out there as well, because the thing is, if you're not out there, who's going to see you? You might have a great talent at something, but how will anybody know about this? It's one of the key things of either a virtual property, content creating, and stuff like that, is you're putting yourself out there. Right, so next up on the podcast as well is we just want to go over how to create your unique and memorable name. We've already spoken a bit about niche, how to choose your niche if you're going to be going into something, but how do you choose your name? Because there's so many out there, especially businesses.
Choose your name to the blog? For
the blog, it's important, isn't it?
I mean, best part is your name.
So you'd recommend going for something
name
personal.
Or the name you really like, because unless you're going to start a blog in a particular niche, right? So if you're thinking about, you are really good at like grooming the dogs, like something, so you gotta start that according to that thing, right? Or else it could be samueldogs.com.
Because people associate,
really
don't
not overcomplicate about the name, right? Name, of course, shorter the better. Catchy, people can remember that one. And I tell you, even when I started the agency, it was initially like a blog and a site, right? So I'm like, click do. What does people do? They click and do it on the web.
I was going to ask you, how did it make that transition from like your personal blog, Fernando, to click do? How did you make that transition?
So I had FernandoBiz.com, which I wrote about business and WordPress training, SEO stuff. Even I got clients from it because it ranked for a freelance SEO consultant in London.
Oh wow!
Even Fernando.
That's a hard term.
Yeah, it was hard, and that's how I got my first few clients. Also, not the very first one. First one was word of mouth, and then onwards I got clients by ranting there. And then when I was building, so I'm like, okay, I want to start an agency, like just to make it a separate agency. So I was thinking, what does people do? Like they click and do, right? Like, I'm clicking and doing, so people are clicking. So that got me to think like,
it's a bit like SeekaHost, isn't it?
Because and at that same time, I also have heard about the one-click thing was only the ClickBank. So I had ClickBank affiliate products that I used to put on FernandoBiz.com. And I like, what we do is clicking and doing it. What people want to do is like, they want to get clicks. So if I want to start a SEO agency, clickdo.co.uk with the best name. So that's...
It's good, isn't it? Simple, effective.
And yeah, exactly. Shorter the better, you know.
Yeah, sure. And people remember it as well. So if you're going to go home, you say, oh, you know, who did you use for that SEO? Oh, click do. You're going to remember that rather than like a long
people
name,
remember
numbers.
and that's the thing, you know, and the names you can always change later if you don't write. I mean, I had a perfect catch for the name. Fernando Biz, I later realized, okay, let's go FernandoRaymond.com, which is actually much better to build the brand and actually what I'm building on the web. That's the thing. And SeekaHost was a kind of a story which we got lucky, but like what people do is like they seek a host to host their website. So I'm like, SeekaHost, right? So
it makes so much sense as well. And actually, another question is, how did you go from the click do to SeekaHost? Was it sort of something that went hand in hand, as in you saw the fact that you're working with certain people that could also do with hosting, or was it just a completely separate?
It was because I had the Facebook group you are in also, PBN Demystified. I was building that group to talk about SEO for people, right? I was educating them. At that time, I was using PBNs. This back in 2014 and 15 came, and then I came across to the expired domain, so we were using that. So we host to build private blog network. So initially to get started, like, so I was like, we need to get into this industry. People asking, where do you use the hosting? So me, Kasun, and there was another guy. So we kind of discussed and everything. And then at the same time, I had the SeekaHost domain. Also, what was ready, it was kind of like being a little lucky. We had it found, and I was having that domain also built. So I was like, okay, I was looking at this domain one day, going to publish a blog article. And because I write a lot of things about blogging and the stuff, so SeekaHost, I was like, what does people do? They're like seeking a host. They're seeking a host. So I'm like, holy shit, this domain. And every day when I go, people ask, where do you buy private blog network hosting? How to get IP hosting? So I'm like, this has a market. We need to figure this out. And SeekaHost on that day, I already had some blog posts already published. I'm like, SeekaHost, why not make it a hosting company?
So did you already have the domain already?
We already had the domain because SeekaHost was a hosting company domain that was started back in 2020. 2000.
Yeah,
2000. So it's like it's a 23-year-old domain now.
It was an expired domain even when you first got it.
So expired domain, I bought it from a person, an expired domain finder, and then like that really all the transitions happen. So if a people get started at some place, I would say, if you don't overcome, get started, keep writing, you see what happened. Now you started with the blog, you do courses, all this, but if you overcomplicate, should I start Dog? Should I start? How many websites now you build? It all leads to, you know? It's the thing for the starter. What we got to say is like, just guys, like, get it started. You know, that's the most important thing, getting it started and building it at a wall. You know, you can always change.
A lot of people spend an awful amount of time actually, like you said, planning. Like for me, video creation. Oh, what should I do? My first video is not going to be that good. Are people going to be embarrassed? It doesn't matter. It's almost like your first blog post. Like, you know, it's not going to be that great, but you're going to improve from it. And if you hadn't have done that first blog post, you wouldn't be where you are now. A couple of years later, like you said, JDog Official. It just started as a fun Minecraft website.
You're ranking for keywords even.
Now I'm outranking like major people. I'm on first page for stuff which when I first started I thought would never happen. You could never outrank planetminecraft.com, you know. Now I'm bloody first, which is crazy again, but that's you know, a lot of the power of SEO, which I sort of help from you and explaining. And so let's explain quickly just PBNs. Actually, I'll get you to explain so you have a lot more knowledge on what PBNs are for anybody that is watching, might be interested.
Guys, like, PBNs are private blog networks. People really take is the bad things like, oh, private blog networks are bad. It's a private blog owned by a person. And of course, it's mainly back in the days used to just stick up content and plug the links. That way SEO doesn't even really work. The private blog networks, like, it's a blog which is used to publish content and to reference links to other websites. That's how the web works, really. Any blog which links to other said, it's a privately owned blog. So if you look at that terminology, even if you look at the biggest publication, they are linking, they're referencing, they're having affiliate links and the stuff. They are a blog. And a person who create a blog network is a person who create hundreds of blogs. So at SeekaHost, back in the days, since we were doing it like providing for the private blogs, we give IP hosting, because anybody building 100 blogs, say 100 domains, you want to build 100 blogs, they want those blogs to be on different location, unique servers, unique IP. So that's what we do like at SeekaHost. Unique IP hosting, PBN hosting, all these keywords in the top 3 of Google. It's been used by, so James is building say 100 blogs. He wants unique IP addresses, several locations, those blogs to be, because you're using those blogs to link to several websites, client's website, your website. So you want sure these are very uniquely built, right? And of course it's taken as a black hat SEO thing, but I don't think anything's there is like white hat or clean. If you are linking to another website with a goal of increasing the ranks, it's a no then, according to Google, at least what they say. But that's how the web works. If you don't, if nobody links, even the search engines would struggle to even the position the ranks, because you need to reference. So I tell to people, even the PBN Demystified group, we have over 10,000 people now, right?
It's a big
SEO
group.
consultant group. I tell to people, like, build your blog so well, even though you're building 100 or 500 or 1,000, some clients has like thousands of websites, right? Build them so well. The content has to be good. You have to link in a proper way, not just anchors and just like looking at obviously trying hard to rank for this kid. It doesn't really even work. Like, anybody who are planning to build the PBNs, my message is like, it doesn't even really work. You got to have amazingly written content that's ready to add value for the web. When you send traffic, the visitors who want to read, it fulfills, it answers, right? If it has a link, it references to the right web page. Right? So if you are linking to another website, of course, of your client, which needs to go ranks higher, that has to be a properly built website. That has to be on pages you're done. That's the way when you place links from this to that the dynamics works and the ranks increase. So that's the way. Anybody who's building private blog networks should really follow the right ways of building a website.
And I think that's sometimes the problem, isn't it? Because sometimes people say, oh, but I used the PBN guide, didn't work that well. That's again, like Fernando said, that's because they're doing it wrong. They're not putting the time into each blog, each site. So, in effect, you're almost making a spam site, aren't you? Because you're not putting the time or the effort for Google to think, well, this is good quality information. But yet you've got links going everywhere, which in fact could not help the people that you're linking to, Whereas if you've got a good blog,
some people would like, oh, I built 2 PBNs and I just like, I'm giving up, it's not working. It doesn't work. You need to 10 or 20 is a minimum just to get a slightest of a budget for a web page, right? You're thinking about increasing ranks for multiple pages, sites and the stuff. You're looking at hundreds of PBNs, right? Sometimes people would not be able to build your own thing with that much to scale. If you're the finance, the best thing, you can go to a group like PBN Demystified, look for buyers who are selling, have websites that you can buy publications. It's like you buy PR, which reference back to the site web page that you want to increase ranks. So that's the entire dynamics. That's what we teach in the PBN Demystified. Anybody who's watching the video, if you haven't joined the PBN Demystified, you can just come and join the PBN Demystified. James and me is almost every day. At least there, if somebody drop questions to answers,
absolutely.
You can always
do join.
come there.
Do join. It is a good one. It's got the people in that field as well, which really does help. Quite frequently asked questions as well as how to make your blog look appealing, because there are so many blogs out there. Obviously, it's quite hard. There's lots of themes. Do you do it custom? Do you choose a theme? Do you pay for a theme? Free theme? Is there something that you would particularly recommend for a starting blog?
Starter, you always looking for a free WordPress theme. I mean, there are enough free WordPress themes you can buy. You can really do your research even from the WordPress dashboard. The themes that's not much used, but you can customize. Or is the other next approach is like buying a theme from Theme for Us or some sort of a place for a cheaper price, under $50. But so you want to really crush it. The best thing is the building custom.
Yeah,
custom
absolutely.
building it. I mean, that's what SeekaHost does it, ClickDo does it.
Yeah.
So custom building is like you building your own web property, so unique. Google loves it, has an SEO advantage because it really goes from the images to all the page dynamics and the structure of the website custom coded. So that takes time, that takes a cost. You need to hire a developer, but that's how if you're thinking about you building a personal blog or a long-term business blog, that's the best approach to go because that has a tremendous SEO advantage. We've seen it for clients at ClickDo.
Yeah, I was going to say because other blogs, if you're using the same thing, there's many other blogs that look almost exactly the same as you. And also because they put pictures when you would download a theme, they put the pictures on your thing. If you don't move them pictures, suddenly you've now got pictures that 1,000 other people have used as well, which makes it less unique.
Changed. Even one more thing for like anybody I can say is like if you're using like the themes, especially even if you bought or else like a free theme, you gotta make sure you really change the images because all the images are wiped out. Delete the media, go to the media file on the settings on WordPress, and then what you can do is delete it, everything is out, and re-upload the newly done images because otherwise you have already duplicate stuff. And the other worst part is like copyright infringement and everything because like you bought a theme doesn't mean most probably you own the theme. If you're especially selling the site or using for commercial purposes, you had to read the copyright thing, especially in the blogging thing. You gotta look into that one. And
they almost all come with pictures of somebody's face, which as we found out can actually still, although you've been given the picture, can still be copyrighted, can still be claimed by that person. So you gotta be careful.
Exactly.
Especially with
copyright
images.
Thing is big. A lot of money to be paid. If it goes wrong. Oh,
it's a big industry. Optimizing your blog for SEO. We've sort of covered this a little bit already. But again, it's something that everybody wants to know because who doesn't? Everybody wants to rank first, essentially. And there isn't quite just like a one-stop answer, is there? There's many things that come into ranking your blog.
So start with on-page SEO, aerodynamics, get the keywords right, do the keyword research, have the keywords at the right places.
Any programs you'd recommend for keywords, keyword searching? What sort of programs would you recommend?
We're using Ahrefs, right? We used to use SEMrush or Google Planner. Ahrefs. Kind of, it's like industry tool. We're using that one. You get the volumes, and to get the idea, that's not just the only way to do that. You get a keyword, you see the volume, you go to Google, you run it. So if it is a commercial local business, you can drop the keyword and see whether people are running paid ads, right? What are the Google suggestions? How does the on-page title tags and everything is done for the other website in that industry? That gives you a good idea. Okay, if I want to outrank, if I want to have the highest chance, look at the top 3, top 10 sites that are ranking, and also see the Google ads that are scoring really good, right? So that gets an idea, and then you look at the volume, it's good to go, and then the things comes down to like on pages, which we covered in the SeekaHost University course, like very fundamental. I have a video even I've done in the SEO training course, which is just a one hour video purely going about like how to do on page SEO, same fundamentals. It's about it really. I would still put the meta keywords and the meta description. Google said nobody reads, but like when I see even the meta description get highlighted in bold, I'm like, Google bots search engine bots are reading that, right? So have the keyword, have the meta description, make sure there are other ways like getting the keywords on the right place of the post at the start and the stuff. And I think we covered it on SeekaHost. You guys can always see that on the SeekaHost YouTube channel. Get the on-page SEO right. That's really important if you're building in the personal blog, a business website, and even a private blog, network blog. If you are building, do those dynamics. It's like getting the infrastructure right for the search engines if you want to have organically ranking, and that helps in the long run, really.
So, and just to finish off, what are the common blogging mistakes that people do make that can sort of hurt them going forward without even realizing? What could be something that you'd give a beginner right now and say, don't do this?
We talked like getting the on-page SEO right. So it starts with the keyword research and identify the niche, right? So if you want a blog to make money rather than a personal blog, even if a personal blog won't evolve, you're going through a passion or expertise that you already have. If you don't have, you can always learn. Getting that niche right. So you have expertise, you think you can carry about it, you wouldn't try. Then would it have a market demand? That's where the keyword research comes down to. Because once you get the keyword research done, you see the market's demand, and you will get an idea like the CPC. Can you make ad costs? Can you run Google AdSense? Can you do affiliate marketing? Are there a product? Or else if you want to do content publishing business model, is this industry that has the tendency people want to buy PR on your website, right? So that's the niche research to really understand. And then once that's done, it comes down to building your website. right, which people would not really do. They will start the blog without a focus, without a thing, not doing the on-page SEO. That's the most fundamental mistake people do, and they're like, I've been blogging for like a while, like no traffic, just goes nowhere, nobody reads it, never grew. So you need to know the dynamics, which we all have it on the SeekaHost University. You guys like free courses. James done a bunch of new courses from the point of starting the blog. Even it goes down to paid traffic, how to do the most fundamental way of doing Google AdWords at the cheapest possible way to get the initial traffic, right? So if you skip those parts, it's just not like one mistake. Those are the fundamental mistakes the beginner bloggers do, which will make them frustrated because your blog is not going to grow. You're going to blog for a year if you're really determined, and then you're like, no traffic, you have no potential to make money, nobody want to buy guest post or buy content on your website, on the blog, and then there is like almost zero chance for you to make money. You know, because if you get those things right, you can always make money. Even forget about the ads and the stuff, right? You can literally make money at the moment. It's like renting out your own property, renting out space for people to publish content, and they pay a fee to publish, and most of the time they will of course send the content, which is gonna make things easy. Just like publish the article, you make the money, $50, $100, like you can make the money if your blog is built right. It's enormous. We'll go about in another.
I was going to say the guest posting is a really interesting one, isn't it? Because really, like you said, you're getting the content. So not only you're providing the link, you're getting money, but you're also still putting more content on your blog. So it is helping, I suppose, as long as the content's good. You're filtering who's guest posting, etc., and it's to your niche, then I can see how that can really benefit.
It is. We can of course cover it on another video. Of course,
we'll do a long one
how the content publishing business model works. I can have a general long half an hour chat about it.
Like that's super interesting as well. So definitely look out for that one when it comes out. So